Alright everyone, welcome back to another video with Codeybean. Today we'll be continuing the build with the van. Today we're going to be building the kitchen. Just going to go right here in this section that I am swinging my arm in. It's basically just going to be a countertop with 2 water jugs underneath, the sink, and then the water pump that goes to the sink. And the rest of it's just kind of a countertop where I can put a propane cooktop and then just go from there, I guess. Maybe some shelves on top. Up here, and then this will all be a giant cabinet underneath with like 5 doors, I think, according to my calculations here. That's that. Let's get to it. Alright, so the bottom plates and then also my top plate, I guess you could call it, is already mounted. I did that the other day. They're all straight to my knowledge, which was very convenient. They're not level, but they are like, the whole van's not level, but it's level with the van, if that makes sense. I guess what I have to do now is actually just frame out the bottom and then kind of prepare it to throw plywood on top. Cut out for the hole for the sink and then hook up the plumbing, and that's about it. And then make cabinet doors. I don't know how that'll go. That could be awful, could be alright. I guess time will tell. Alright, so the way I'm expecting this to go, this space is going to, why is it zooming in? Stop it. This 12-inch span is going to be a cabinet door. Might have some of the electrical stuff go here. That's why that is going to be a door right there. It doesn't have to be a big one. And then I'm gonna have a stud here, 12 inches cabinet, and then another 12-inch cabinet. So just 2, 24-inch total. So 2 cabinet doors, and then another stud, and then another set of 2 cabinet doors here, and that'll be the end. And then I'm expecting my water jugs to be essentially like this. Expecting the water jugs to go about there, and then I will build some kind of framing to keep them in there locked in. Demonstration purposes, I left it in the box, but that's where I'm thinking the water pump will go. This water pump doesn't require any head pressure. For those that don't understand what head pressure is, it's basically just water above the pump, because every foot of water, doesn't matter how big the tank is, for every foot of water you have, it equals like basically 0.5 psi. Engineering did me good with that. Some pumps are more efficient with head pressure, feeding down into it as an inlet, but this one doesn't require it. It's self-priming, so it doesn't matter if there's head pressure. It can be above the water tanks or it can be below it. And that's where the sink's gonna go. The sink, I could put it way down there towards the electrical stuff, but if I leave it like this close to the back of the door, faucet that I have is a retractable one, so if I actually really wanted to, if I was really feeling it, if I really wanted to, I could grab the faucet from outside in the back of the van, and then I could shower with that. Will I do it? Probably not, but it's a good option. But that's where I stand with the kitchen. The rest of it's really just a giant storage bank for snackies, whatever else. My fridge is actually over there. Forgot to mention that. My fridge is going under my bed, basically. Right under my head. Oh, and then actually I also wanted to mention these are both freshwater tanks. This is not like one freshwater tank and a gray water tank. I don't plan on putting anything else other than water down the sink, so I'm just going to drain it out the side, whether it's through the wheel well or I just drill a hole through the bottom of the floor over there. But I'm not too worried about it. The only thing that's going to be a nuisance is this giant 1.5-inch sink drain I'm not drilling an 1.5-inch hole in my van, so I have to reduce that down, which I actually have a thing over there for. Let's see if that worked. Alright, so I actually bought this for, I think, literally $5 on Amazon. It's an attachment that goes from, I think it's normally for like RVs to go into their drain for their gray water tank, but in our case, we're using it for the drain on the sink. It is a plastic piece that goes from 1.5 to 1/2 inch. So I could use a normal hose if I wanted to, like a water hose that you go outside and spray your lawn with. This is the exact same connection. There we go. That's actually so perfect. Alright, I measured my 5 studs, and now I'm going to cut them. Alright, we're putting up the studs. There's 1, there is 2, 3 more to go. Now there is 3. And 5. 67 3/4. for the top. Beautiful. Alright, well now that's built. I just realized that I'm an idiot. What am I supposed to do with this? Now that it's stuck in there. I do have to stain this the same color as the ones over there, but I haven't cut out the sink for this, and I might have to call in reinforcements to do that because I don't want to screw that up. I've already screwed it up once. I don't know what happened there, but stuff happened and now it don't line up. It still sits on the 2x4, but we'll have to cut another block that fits that, but I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty mad about that because I measured it like 4 times and I still managed to do something dumb. Wowzers. Well, we have a sink. All thanks to Greg. Otherwise, I probably would have messed that up first try anyway, just like I did with this piece. But came out pretty good. So now I guess the rest of it is just gonna have to be plumbed out. I need to still get a piece of plywood on this, and then I do want to support this piece because there's like nothing there. I don't want to end up leaning on it and then breaking it. So I think once the plywood's on there, we'll have something to be able to nail it to, and then go from there. It looks pretty good. All right, so the reveals had a tiny bit showing after this thing, so I threw some wood putty in there. I'm gonna wait for that to dry, and then I'll stain this whole table, put the sink back on. This is all dry now. The wood putty's dry now, so I think what I'm gonna do now is stain this. I also cut out this piece right here. It's not gonna look beautiful, but it's good enough, I guess. So I'm just gonna stain that, and then eventually I'll just have to somewhat attach them to each other. And yeah, that's that. Staining the tops of the countertops and tables that we have inside the van. As far as I know, this is gonna get stained, the tops of these pieces, and then I'm gonna leave this the way that it is. I don't know if I'm gonna paint it white or if I'm gonna paint it blue, but it's definitely getting painted. This will probably end up being white, to be honest. The walls over here will definitely end up being blue. This wall and that wall will end up being blue. This whole wall will end up being blue. I don't know what I'm going to do with the little seat thing over here yet. Background over here will actually probably end up getting a backsplash, like one of those stick-on vinyl things. One of those stick-on vinyl tile. And the last one. Now, the only real thing that I'm thinking about is, do I even bother coating the underside knowing that they're going to be used as like hinged doors? So I just paint the underside of them white to match the rest. Another thing that I haven't mentioned yet is that I ended up getting wood putty and filling in these holes. This one I used for to just screw it onto the 2x4. Throwing putty on this because it had a little chip in it. Same with the edge of that one over there. But once I sand those, I think it'll be okay. Will I see it? Yeah. Will I care? Probably not, because I was going to just leave the stupid chip in it anyway. Alright, so these are all done now. I just sanded them all. They're all good. I actually ended up doing some kind of like sanding down the edges so I didn't like stab myself with them. Although I realized I don't have any paper towels, so I can't wipe the stain off with them or any rags or nothing, so I'm going to have to go get those and then come back and then stain. Alright, so that is the stain that I chose. This would be just the normal wood. That's the, I don't remember what the word is when you have like a normal thing and then the changed one. This is after 3 coats of stain, which is honestly too dark for me, so I'm probably just going to end up doing 1 or 2. But this is quote-unquote weathered oak. If I stay with this natural color, because I honestly like the lighter color wood anyway, I'm probably just going to do the weathered oak and then do a coat of poly over it. To be honest with you, just normal poly over it probably would be alright with me anyway. Probably very important to, once again, just remind people that I have no idea what I'm doing. And and I just kind of wing it 100% of the way. But as for right now, these are coming out pretty good. I think I'm just gonna throw poly on these now and call it a day. All right, so this is the poly that I'm using. Now that that's all stained up. It's a water-based interior poly. I used it on the wall in the van previously and it came out pretty good, so I'm just gonna continue using it because I already have it. So I feel like I'm in the exact same position as before where I have no idea what's too much and what's not enough. Okay, well, next step, since the countertop is already cut, I need the side of the cabinet cut to both height and length. So I'm gonna do that now. Well, my floor is not level, so neither is this gonna be. There we go. Had myself worried for a minute. Alright, so that's like roughly what it's gonna look like. All of this is gonna get painted white, and then I'm gonna have some doors on it. Cool beans, man. Cool beans. Beans are cool. But for now what I just need to do is cut out the holes in between the 2x4s. I'll probably leave like an inch overhang. What I mean by that is like, I don't want to cut it flush against the 2x4 back here. Instead I'll like come out an inch, if you can even see that. Alright, so I cut out my piece of plywood on the holes, so time to install, I guess. Something like that. And that's what it's gonna look like, but with doors. Alright, let's stain this countertop. But that's what it looks like. Not too shabby.